All right, starting this new painting out, and I've been on a kick of doing works in a very direct manner. That is Burnt Umber by Michael Harding. To me, it is the best burnt umber. It's the right consistency. Now, I start with burnt umber. A lot of people ask me why I like burnt umber so much. Burnt umber is an iron oxide. It dries super fast, and you can basically move it. I can get mineral spirits and move the drawing. So right now I'm generally getting the drawing in, just kind of massing it, getting the shape of it on the canvas. And what that allows me to do is to plan. I'm putting it. I'm just generally, this is very similar to the way in which I would do it with Vines charcoal, by the way. I find Vines charcoal and drawing loosely like this very rewarding, because if you can start to work in a very abstract way like this and just get kind of contours and masses of shapes and get them correctly, you will not be at the mercy of having to do a tight drawing and then transfer it over and then never feel like you ever want to lose the drawing. There was a pro and a con, of course, to all of the methods and ways in which working. And for me, working in a indirect method felt a little bit more constrained, and I find that there's totally value in doing that, and nothing wrong with it. But to be a little bit more free with the paint, free with the expression, I find that this way of working just helps me. It helps me feel like there is expression in the painting, and it's not just an exercise in how to render something. So you can see these lines are going to move. I'm generally moving across the whole form. This is why if you get really good at drawing, you can work in this manner. So I can't say enough about trying to hone in the skills of drawing. Look, I grabbed mineral spirits on the brush because it got too dark there. There's a thinness and a thickness of the paint in this early stage in which I'm drawing, but there's also a difference in tone. There's difference in line, so broadly collecting data. And now I'm just going to jump in. So I'm grabbing that is, I think that is titanium white, that is cobalt teal, burnt umber, and that is manganese violet, and a little bit of ivory black. Now, I'm also, sometimes I just like jump in, right? This is me just jumping in right now. The drawing is generally there, and now I'm just like, I just want to jump into the painting. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm trying to now think of the values. Like, I want to refine the drawing perhaps a tiny bit. I don't want to bring everything down to a line and then be bound with a line. If the drawing needs to move, I still want to move it. But I'm also building it tonally now. And the thing with burnt umber is that burnt umber, even out of the tube, is not as dark as you can get with ivory black. Plus, there are moments in which I don't see it quite as burnt umber. So I'm kind of pushing through and building the drawing, but also building it tonally as well. So I'm just kind of locking into, maybe you could even say one of the things that I'm interested in. I'm excited to paint that silver cup. And therefore, that's what I will begin to do. So now I'm bringing in the red. That is cadmium red medium. And I'm just going to mass it. There's many different ways. There's not one way to paint. And I've been teaching painting flowers. And in my classes, my Alla Prima class, there's so many different ways to do it. And it just depends on what you want the painting and the flowers to look like. I'm going to offer a bunch of different ways to attack a painting, or approach a painting, I should say, not attack. Because I think that they're really up to you. And a lot of the time my teaching methodology is to offer you many solutions and for you to pick them. Because if you're working with an instructor, that's the point, is that we're trying to make a good painting together, but we're also trying to learn. And then you have to be able to do this by yourself. If you're doing it with the help of an instructor, that means that you can't do it. That means that you need the instructor. So what I like to do is give you variables, allow you to play with them, and then go back and play. So here I am building it, just with a red. And again, sometimes I'll start with the most obvious part of a painting, or the easiest pieces of data to warm myself up into the painting. And to me, it's the flowers. So I'm just going for light shadow at the beginning. And so you can either grab a deep red. So if I grabbed something like alizarin permanent or alizarin claret, Michael Harding name for alizarin permanent, I could get a light and dark version of the red. But I'm kind of playing at the beginning, and I'm searching to see if there's a little bit of play in the paint. That's cadmium green pale, which is really just viridian cadmium lemon. And you see me digging into those piles? I'm just seeing what I can get. Like what is active still on the palette, and what do I want to be able to play with? So back to the red. I grabbed manganese violet there. And manganese violet allows me to take and see if I mix a pretty close to red dark violet, and then I'm just adding a little bit more. It may tip it towards violet, but it's almost so unnoticeable you can't even see it, right? So it's very gentle, and it will give you a little bit of oscillation, which is what I enjoy. And most things in life have oscillation to them. Almost no thing is purely one color, which is again why when I teach color. I teach that if you do absolute coloring, sometimes it's extremely boring. So anyway, I'm mixing a gray, and a lot of the times when I teach these days, I say make a statement with your gray. Don't make it gray. I mean, gray is boring. Even if my wall were gray, you can make it a version of a gray, or slightly a little bit more chroma. If you nailed the value, you could commit the crime with the color, as I say all the time. So it's up to you. And at the beginning, this first step here to grab data and begin to kind of mass it in and see the design of the painting is just that. It's me taking and playing and maybe pushing it more. That's what studies can do. That's if you skip the study and go right to a painting, perhaps that's what you want to do. It's just maybe you need the study to help you open out so that you're not literal. And push it and make it just a study in pushing it. There are many, many ways in which you could play with kind of anything and force yourself out of what you do and then change it. And there are many times in all the things that I've done, I've just forced myself to go through the awkward. If I find that to be a deficiency, or if I want to try something out, and then just trying it out. So that's, again, that's what I'm doing. I get the light and the shadow. I'm building it right now. Here's just a piece of, the white cloth, which is really not cloth. It's actually paper. And I'm just adding, I have titanium white on there and I have lead white. They're two different colors. They're not even close to being the same color. They may visually look the same, but it's just like any color. Like on surface, sure, things look the same, but titanium doesn't feel the same as zinc white, and lead white surely doesn't feel the same as lead or zinc. So I encourage you to play with the different colors and see which one of them you enjoy. Find out also all the data on them. Why would somebody use one over the other? It's not just a matter of convenience. It's to deepen your understanding of all this. So anyway, I'm painting those two things together. I didn't see it as violet, but I wanted to make it violet because, again, at the beginning, I'm playing with the color to make it a little bit more pushed. And that's what I do. I generally push things a little bit more than I see them. I'm not like a true impressionist, but I love their playfulness with color and vibration. And it's something that I always try to unlock to a degree. But I'm more gentler. I'm not like a true impressionist, but definitely inspired and love their work. I love that there's more than just meets the eye there's more than just what you see. There's also like a deep depth to the work in which they're forcing you to see a vibration of color.